JetBroom 10,000 is more than an evolution. It represents a fundamental re-engineering of the JetBroom. While retaining the unrivaled JetBroom concept, we managed to increase clearing capacity by enlarging cleaning width and accelerating work speed with the patented Quattro Jet system. The iconic and compact heavy-duty chassis not only makes the JetBroom 10,000 the most powerful and efficient multi-purpose sweeper blower vehicle, it will change the way you work each day. Built for extreme, engineered for efficiency, this is the JetBroom 10,000.
Good morning from Calgary all, and welcome to the first session of SWIFT September. I'm pleased we're able to bring the SWIFT conference to fruition in 2021 and just want to thank our committee members, our event partner, Aviation Events Group, and of course the many vendors and sponsors who help make this possible. We are emerging out of an impactful time for all, a time where our industry has gone into survival mode and where virtual interactions have saved the day. Many of us yearn for the return of face-to-face interactions and networking, and we hope to deliver that opportunity again in the future. Charles Darwin said, "It's not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent, but the one most responsive to change." This is true of our industry as we rebound. It'll be those who can adapt quickly to new legislation or regulations, financial uncertainty, weather events, consumer and customer demands, that's going to lead us into the future. Over the course of September, SWIFT and our partner CapTG will bring you 8 informative sessions, 2 each Wednesday from the 8th to the 29th. I hope you find them engaging, and I encourage you to participate in the chat features or the networking rooms. You can put questions or comments to any of the speakers at any time via the chat area to your right, and we look forward to hearing your comments and aim to respond to everyone during the Q&A at the end of the session, so please do ask away. Delegates can also communicate in private or public groups of up to 6 people using the front row networking tool, and you'll see more on this on the bottom right of your screen, but we'll go into more details later in the session. I hope you find the sessions informative and ask that you take advantage of the easy format for networking and chatting with others throughout the month. For many years, SWIFT has maintained its association with the CapTG Group. So with that, it's my pleasure to introduce Myron Thiessen, Head of Airfield Pavements and Standards Section for the Department of National Defence in Canada. Myron has over 20 years of experience in the evaluation, design, and management of airfield pavements, and now provides technical oversight on all major airfield pavement construction projects within the department. He's here today in his capacity as chair of the Canadian Airfield Pavement Technical Group. Over to you, Myron.
Thanks, Roy. On behalf of the Canadian Airfield Pavement Technical Group, a big welcome to everyone to this, the first session of SWIFT 2021. It's been a difficult 18 months or so for all of us, but we are excited about SWIFT 2021 and the great sessions planned over the next month. Much has happened since we last met in person, as the pandemic has impacted all of us, both personally and professionally. Like everyone in the air travel industry, CAPTG members, including airport engineering staff, consultants, paving contractors, and suppliers have all been hit particularly hard. Reduced airport budgets have meant the cancellation or postponement of many airfield paving projects, generally resulting in significant reductions in airport consulting and construction work. Nonetheless, the industry has adapted, temporarily shifting resources to other areas while staff have learned to work efficiently from home. While most commercial airports have paused airfield paving projects, there's actually been a surge in demand for private airstrip consulting and construction work, both here in Canada and around the world. Thankfully, we are also starting to see things pick up again on the commercial airport side, with some projects moving forward again after lengthy delays. We've also seen a gradual opening of offices again, giving proof that recovery is underway and hope that better days are ahead. As I'm sure it is with most of you, I look forward to being able to gather for SWIFT in person in the future. But for now, I'm thankful we can still meet virtually like this. SWIFT September 2021 has a lot to offer, so I invite everyone to participate in as many of the sessions as possible. With this year's format, you might actually be able to visit or attend some sessions you normally wouldn't be able to. So I look forward to seeing you there. And with that, I'll pass it back to you, Roy.
Thanks, Myron. Next, we have Steve McEwen. Steve is president of Team Eagle, whose companies have supported SWIFT since its origin as a Transport Canada airport's only friction testing event back in the late 70s, 1978. Some 42 years later, here we are still. Eventually, the Canadian regulator could no longer fund the friction panel, and Team Eagle partnered with Calgary to keep the panel alive and subsequently expand it with expert and passionate committee members and delegates, building into a larger North American and becoming a European Airfield Technologies Conference. It's fitting that Team Eagle are headline sponsors of this SWIFT September, as they've done so many times in the past, and that Steve is here to share his thoughts on how he sees the industry recovering from this pandemic. Steve, over to you.
Thanks for the kind words, Roy. And good morning, everyone. It is certainly my and Eagle's pleasure to be given this opportunity to resume our support of SWIFT. And we're excitedly looking forward to SWIFT 22 with Daryl and the Winnipeg team. We don't presume to have any thoughts or suggestions on our best ways forward that our airport teams have not already thought of, but I'm pleased to respectfully submit what many of you have shared with us. With expenses overwhelming revenues at most of our airports, the most common way forward plans expressed to us are, we must look to more efficient ways to exploit our severely reduced capital and human resources to maintain safety. Our overall goal being, as always, the safe takeoff and landing of aircraft. The most often expressed opinions have included that we need to efficiently automate many of our manual practices with more efficient kit, emerging machine learning, artificial intelligence, the industrial Internet of Things, and situational awareness technologies, with these helping us to establish new best management practices, and maybe now adding in some semi or fully autonomous technologies once we feel that all of these have been vetted, tested, and proven robust enough to be used in our aviation industry, again, where almost any amount of risk is simply too much. I'm personally excited that our airports and technology partners may be able to exploit a lot of these new technologies sooner rather than later. We can possibly mitigate CapEx limitations with rent-to-own, operating and capital leases, software as a service, hardware and equipment subscriptions, and most recently, off the balance sheet, pay only as you use equipment and services, and airports possibly sharing current or new standby equipment instead of each one of our airports maintaining, repairing, on relying on 15 to 20-year-old and older kit. Hoping that everyone enjoys and benefits from a great SWIFT 2021. Cheers to all, and hoping we can get back to toasting each other face-to-face and peer-to-peer next year in Winnipeg. Thank you.
Cheers to that, Steve, and thank you for that introduction on you. And Steve isn't going to be staying with us today. He has to drop off for business reasons, but we'll have the Eagle company available for question and answer. Traditionally, SWIFT reviews the previous year, regulatory changes we've gone through, specific challenges the industry or regions have faced during the year, and emerging best practices to share. For 2021, it's been 2 years since we met. Unfortunately, we didn't get together last year. And in those 2 years, the industry's been hit incredibly hard by the COVID-19 pandemic, and all of us have had to face unprecedented change. So we thought it made sense to find out how some of our airfield ops professionals got on over the last 18 months and what's on their minds. While you're listening to their thoughts, why not head to the polls section and tell us how you envision the future of the industry recovering? There'll be 2 questions come up in the poll. How is everybody feeling about the future? And who feels the last 18 months have made us stronger?
Just added 39 gates. We're finishing those off come the middle of winter this coming year. They've all been leased out. I feel truly optimistic.
There's lots of chatter around the airport and in our meetings just about spooling back up to a busier operation, and we're looking forward to getting things going.
Here in Montreal too, we went as low as 15 to 20 flights a day, and we're about close to 200 right now. So it's getting back to normal.
People want holidays. Everybody seems to be have money, so they haven't spent anything in the last 2 years. So I'm pretty sure charters are going to be good, and people visiting other people, but business I think will take a couple years to get back.
I think it's going to take a long time for business travel to come back. So even if our numbers are up, I think there's going to be some negative impact. And we saw it after 9/11 for those of us that were in the industry. Some things went away, they didn't come back. I feel negative about how politicized this has all been. And I look back to, I referenced 9/11. After that, that was less than a year after a very, very contentious election. Everyone came together. Not the case this time. And it makes me worry about when we have science, we have math, everything being politicized, that how would we handle this if we had another variant or if we had another pandemic 2 years down the road and people wouldn't come together. So that, unfortunately, I'm not very optimistic on some of those aspects.
I think for us, it actually forced a lot of stakeholders and partnerships to partner even more, whether that be FAA, regulatory, or our air traffic control division. They were struggling with the same problems, and it's kind of nice to be in the boat together.
This isolation of coming in from home and the Zoom meeting, it's really made me appreciate the old way of working, and I'm really looking forward to going back to that.
The pandemic has kind of taught us is that no matter how much you plan, sometimes things aren't going to work out, and that can be personally or professionally. So you have to understand that you're not going to be able to have control over everything in your life. And how am I going to adapt? How am I going to prepare for the different possibilities and things that I might have never thought about?
It's forced us to do more with less, to become more efficient in what we do and how we do it. There's been a lot of changes that I think are going to last, coming out of the pandemic, even just, for example, meeting online to do Teams meeting and things like that.
Definitely, I think we're getting out of this stronger because it's adapting to the unknown. Nobody was going through this before. So, and like Alan said, just doing a lot with less.
Thriftiness and just thinking outside the box on how you're going to get the job done efficiently, safely, and effectively.
I think that flexibility and resilience will, take us forward a lot stronger.
It's a challenge. I don't think it's called a problem. It's a challenge because we're adapting to it. And yes, we're getting out of this stronger.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with the comments expressed by the team. Thank you, Alan, Barbara, Billy, Mark, and Sarah for taking time out to share your thoughts. I'll be honest, I think I'm very optimistic about the future. This industry is probably one of the most resilient industries I've ever worked in my career. And I think this is a group of people who sit down, buckle down, and become innovative as these challenges come forward. And I think we've seen that in particular over the last 18 months. I've seen some incredible alliances and efforts go into working with others across the country, across the North America in particular. And I think we'll hear some of those initiatives as we get into the sessions. Myron, did you have any thoughts on our poll questions?
Yeah, I would certainly echo your comments there, and everybody's really about resiliency. I mean, I think our industry has always been kind of at the leading edge of things, and because of that, I think we're well equipped to adapt and to change, I guess, with the things and the challenges that come our way. And I see that certainly as being the case within the airline, airports, and engineering consulting industries that are related to it. So I would be, cautiously optimistic that we're on the right track here, and certainly as things move forward, I think we're going to see a lot of the kind of the benefits of what we learned in the pandemic. Being adaptable, learning greater efficiencies or working towards greater efficiencies, using innovation to our advantage. I think those things are certainly going to help us as we move forward.
Yeah, I think general consensus from the poll looks like we've got very positive 29% about the feeling for the industry's future. That's, I think, probably, indicative of everybody watching what's going on with some of the resurgence and in cases, et cetera. Cautiously optimistic with 71% of the crowd. So, I think that's everybody is hopeful for the future and looking at it. I think we are seeing that pent-up demand starting to rebound a little bit, but again, cautiously going, hopefully I can travel and I'm not going to get locked in anywhere and things will let up. As far as the last 18 months making you stronger, 71% are yes, we're stronger after the last 18 months. 20% were a little indifferent on it, and 9% were no. They were weaker after that. And I think that's probably very regionalized and maybe indicative of kind of the market that the airports serve or the business or the industry that they're in. So let's just take a look at some of what we've got lined up for you in the month ahead, as introduced by SWIFT and CAPTG members.
Hi everybody, I hope you're all well. I'm really excited for SWIFT returning this year. As those of us who operate, maintain and manage airfields, we are accountable for the safe and efficient operations in line with our regulatory requirements. Every day we know many challenges can be thrown at us, but as professionals, we plan and prepare to respond and recover from any incident and accident. Whilst the accidents are few and far between, how we respond is critical for the safety of our colleagues and passengers. With any investigations that we do or any simulations or training activities provides us with great insight to improve us for the future. We will use case studies from the Airport and Transport Safety Bureau to show us best practice in how we plan, respond and recover from these incidents.
Richard Blomers with Tetra Tech Canada, and I'll be chairing a session on climate change and airfield asphalt pavements. We have 3 interesting presentations to cover the topic. Climate change vulnerability assessments at airports in Northern Canada. That will be presented by Dr. Lucas Aronson from BGC Engineering. Our second presentation is an interesting performance-grade asphalt cement climate change selection tool developed by the National Research Council of Canada. It'll be presented by Dr. Amran Madani and Mohammed Shafia. And lastly, we have a case study on mitigation measures for climate change engineering at Churchill Airport. That will be presented by Dave Anderson from Associated Engineering. We look forward to seeing you there.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mike Carlson, Assistant Director, Airside Operations, Denver International Airport. Along with Roy McLeod, we will be hosting the winter operations session. The topics to be included are using and combining chemicals on the airfield, apron snow removal, and a case study that was done at the Calgary International Airport regarding their snow and ice control plan. We look forward to seeing you.
Hi, I'm Sarah Demery, Assistant Aviation Director for the City of Phoenix. I will be moderating and leading a discussion with Lisa Gam, Vice President of Operations at DFW International Airport, Nicholas Bernard, Maintenance Infrastructure with Paris Airports, as well as Gabriel Navarez, Deputy Aviation Director for Aviation Facilities and Services at Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport. This outstanding panel will discuss case studies of asset planning and development, as well as asset utilization and optimization. It's sure to be an outstanding session. See you then.
The session on innovation and sustainability in airfield concrete pavements will focus on two very pertinent topics to airfield concrete paving today. The first of these concentrates on ways to reduce the overall carbon footprint of our airfield concrete paving projects and will include presentations by Shane Mulligan from the Cement Association of Canada and Kevin Davis from Carbon Cure. The second part of the session will focus on the use of precast concrete slabs in airfield repair and construction applications and will include presentations by Mark Snyder from Pavement Engineering and Research Consultants, as well as a joint presentation by Benson Wynn and Jeff Roberts from Hatch. We are excited to offer this session and we look forward to seeing you there.
It's not just about the technology, but what technology has enabled us to do. We're going to hear from industry leaders using data and innovation to drive safety and efficiency. We have great speakers. We're going to hear from Avinor, the operator of the Oslo Airport in Norway, about the work they're doing with autonomous snow removal. Dean Irvin from Edmonton will talk to us about his on-airport drone operations. Josh Kolsty from Halifax will share their journey with airfield lighting photometrics. Jeff Booten from Denver will share with us their insights into vehicle telematics. These topics will be part of the conversation at your airport in the next few years. This is your chance to hear from industry peers who've already forged a path. Join us Wednesday, September 22nd for a great session.
We've got an action-packed agenda. We've got someone from ACI coming to speak about industry trends and forecasting, what we can expect in the industry over the next 12 to 18 months. We have Edmonton Airport coming in to speak about cross-utilising some of their specialised equipment with other airports. We've got Calgary Airport speaking about their carbon capture pavement initiative. And then we've got the Greater Toronto Airports Authority speaking about everything related to paint and some of the MMA and thermoplastic initiatives that they've trialled with great success. We look forward to seeing everybody there. Thank you.
Creativity and innovation through adversity, how airports have delivered their airfield projects and programs through the challenges of 2020 and 21. Speakers include Laura Sturvet, Calgary Airport Authority, Gail Lebris, WSP USA, Brian Grasser, Vancouver Airport Authority, Leon Van Dyke, Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, and Alan Sherwood, Greater Toronto Airports Authority.
We're really looking forward to getting into those sessions as we go through the Wednesdays of September here. And thanks to all. It's good to see all of our SWIFT committee members all chairing sessions and some of our vendors and suppliers in there helping to lead the way on these. We don't have any questions or comments as of yet, so I'd encourage you to use the comment section if you wish to get involved in any of that. I wanted to thank Myron and Steve for coming on this morning and leading the way for CapTG and of course for our vendors, and thank everybody else for joining today's welcome session. We will see you next Wednesday at 9:10 Central for Airfield Incidents chaired by Neil Pritchard of Heathrow, who you heard from this morning. To close off this session, we're going to play out with a video we've made showing just how easy it is to network during SWIFT September. After it's finished, why not explore the platform and join in a front row group and say hello. We'll see you there.
Thank you everyone for joining us for the opening session of SWIFT 2021. It's a shame that we can't all be together today, but this technology is going to enable everyone to participate in live sessions, put any questions you may have to speakers, and communicate with delegates, publicly and privately, and it's easy to do so. Within the lobby area, you can use the chat box on the right-hand side of the screen to publicly converse with other delegates, speakers and organisers. When you've joined, why not say hello in the chat box just to let the organisers and your colleagues know that you've arrived. Swift sessions all take place in the stage area, which you can see on the menu over on the left-hand side here. Once you're in the stage area, you will be able to see the main stream in the centre of the page there. And there is another chat box on your right. This is where we would recommend putting any questions you may have for a speaker. Or if you want to make a comment about the presentation that's being delivered. Polls will also show up in the chat box, and this is where you can cast your vote. If you want to see more clearly, you can minimise the chat area like this to make the stage fill your screen. Something we really enjoy about HyperSay is the front row feature, which is a simple way to communicate with other delegates away from the main screen. On the left-hand side, this little icon will show you all of the rooms that are available, and from here you can join a front row, and this will take you separately to an area where you will be able to have private discussions using your microphone with up to 5 other people, and this won't interrupt the presentation that's being delivered. There is also the front row chat box, which will deliver messages to those in your front row party. Front row is effectively a private group call, and that box can only be seen by those within your front row. You can leave your front row chat by clicking Exit Front Row down on the right-hand side of the bottom of the screen. To create a new front row, click here. You can choose between open, which means any delegate can join, or invite only. That way you can choose which delegates you'd like to join. Click on the plus icon to invite delegates. You can invite by searching their name. Once the front row has been created, delegates can toggle between a few to engage with different groups of delegates using the icon on the left-hand side of the screen in the menu. A front row will close when all members have left, but you can set up a new one again at any time. Once the welcome session has finished, the conference space will stay live for another 10 minutes. Here, you can speak to our tech team in the Swift September front row. This will be open throughout Swift September 2021, and should you experience any issues with the platform, please let us know here. And that's how easy it is to network throughout the conference. Have a great Swift!
Precise ParkLink is the premier name in parking services. As Canada's parking industry leader with over 30 years of experience, we've pioneered exciting new changes in the industry. Our ability to provide you with everything you need makes working with us a convenience that no other parking organization can provide. Each year, we provide services to millions of passengers and visitors on behalf of Canadian airports, getting it right each time. Our solutions are designed with high volumes in mind, keeping up with the speed of your business. Let us guide you through your journey with flexible airport-focused solutions designed to meet your needs, making it more than about parking, but about safe and easy journeys too. For us, it's personal. It's all about you, your airport, your travelers, and your bottom line.